Welcome in for a new episode of 704 Unfiltered. I'm your host, Nick Sturdivant. Thank you, family, for joining us. We got a special guest, a guest that we go way back, way back. You probably recognize the voice. She's literally taking over the Queen City. I mean, in a good way, take over, right? She's a host, content creator, entrepreneur, journalist, author, wife, and featured in a historic mural at the Harvey B. Gantt Center. I saw it. I freaked out. I was like, whoa, is that? Yeah, it was. Her media journey, I mean, it's really, really just getting started. Welcome. Put some respect on her name. Ohavia Phillips-Reed.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
First of all, we're not about to just go into this without. I gotta give my family his flowers too. Let me tell y'all something. Nick is seriously the GOAT. You have stayed so true and have supported me from the beginning. I'm talking back in the day when you had hair and when my weaves used to be long. And so I just want to say thank you.
No, thank you. You have always been the same person, like in a great way, like a real person. And I say that because there are a lot of people that change.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And
Nick.
Social media, it's getting real spooky out here in the streets.
It's getting spooky out here.
It's getting very spooky.
Oh my goodness, that made my Jamaican accent come out. It's getting spooky. But I'm so grateful that truly, you stuck by me. Mm-hmm. You always said something kind and you always call. And that's why, Nick, look, no matter where you go on God's green, where I go, I will always support you, man. Thanks for really being that for real in my life. And yeah, to the top.
Maybach O. That's what I call it. Maybach O. Maybach O.
I'm taking that.
Maybach O was like literally one of my favorite people here. She's moving around. We both are moving around, so we don't see each other as often. But one of my favorite people here because she's just so like what you see on social media, what you see on a red carpet, what you see at a Hornets game, what you see. I think you hosted one of my nephew. My nephew was here for a 707 tournament.
Oh, yep, that was me. I was there. Yep.
It was cold outside, right?
Yes, it sure was. We had our jackets on. Shout out to G7. They
G7.
do the 707 at Providence, I believe.
Yep. My nephew was out there from Charleston, South Carolina. He was out there. I didn't see you. I came a little later.
Okay.
And I'm like, she's still the same person,
Yes.
same energy.
Bro.
So it just fills my cup when I get a chance to see you from a distance, and now here on the show.
On the show, your show.
Where do we want to start? Do we want to start BET Awards?
Oh,
or do we want to start from the beginning?
That is the most recent thing that happened.
Okay, BET Awards, fresh from LA.
It got me all like.
What was that? Because you were with Santa Trap Choir,
Yes.
your husband, man, Dennis,
Yes.
amazing person. Literally one of those people that every time I see him, and he's come in studio, he speaks life.
That's true.
He speaks life.
Yes.
And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But how was LA? How was the BET Awards?
Nick,
Talk about it.
Let me tell you something. So this would be my second BET Awards. First time going was last year with hubby, and that was incredible. But I can't even lie. This year it felt so different. I remember even packing for this trip, and I was telling him, I was like, babe, I feel like this one is gonna be one for the books. Like I feel like we took the time to sow the seeds and get prepared, and this is gonna feel good. So I already was going to LA to support hubby performing behind Drewski opening.
I saw that. I was like, I know them.
Okay. And those could have been, what was it? Collection plate robes. But I already was going out there to support hubby as him and Sainted were taking the stage to open the BET Awards. But then, Nick, something so cool happened. The energy I was giving it was, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to network, create my own motion. Bro, I don't know who is talking about me in those BET rooms. I don't know who's saying my name, who's watching the content, but this is even just some inspiration for those who are listening. You never know who's watching. Nick, as soon as we touched down in LA, my name was on so many lists. I had to go through my phone wait, what is this for? And what is this for? And it was all for exclusive invite-only events, all BET events with their incredible folks and creatives and those who work in media. And so I had a time. The LA sun was on me. The sun was on me.
Wait, you saying it like, are y'all about to move to LA?
Now, Nick.
Am I starting rumors? Is that a rumor?
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say.
Oh, is this an exclusive?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I would have laid with that.
Okay.
What I will say is, though, For me and my husband, we love Charlotte. We love Charlotte down. We believe we 704 down to the bone. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we don't have necessarily a want to move because we're fulfilled here. This is where we create. We love our folks. We bless folks. We open doors. People open doors for us. So this is home for real. Our foes up. But I would take a little six-month project in LA.
Okay.
Well, live out there 3 weeks.
Hosting, acting.
Yes.
All the above.
They were gassing me in LA, Nick. Somebody tried to tell me I should try to model, and somebody told me I should try to act. Now,
try. Come on.
I'm already, look, I'm going to just be myself.
Go ahead and do it.
But I would want to do comedy, like Pam from Martin. That's what I would want to lead.
What about reality TV? Like within your terms, reality TV.
Okay, now we talking.
Nothing where you're thrown in. Like the show focuses on you. You have creative control. Obviously, it'll be, you and Dennis.
Yes.
It would be the Reeds.
Okay. Now, as long as it's within what we believe in, and we don't flaw on what we believe in because we don't believe in that, I'm down for it. Maybe something like Living the Dream in LA or, anything that is around building and dreaming and living and
thinking
existing.
of a name right now. That's what my mind. That's what I'm looking at.
I see you. They be talking about ChatGPT, but it's Chat NICK. I saw you over there trying to think of a title, and I said, yeah.
I was about to say read between the lines. But that was a BET show.
Oh,
that was a sitcom.
Hold on, wait. Let me see if I can come up with something on the fly. Read all about it.
Read all about it.
What the link read.
Okay. We workshopping some of these names.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
So LA is calling your name, possibly.
Always.
Well, okay.
Always.
Let's start. Okay, we did BET Awards, and we're gonna come back to the BET Awards, but how do you get to this point, right? Because when I met you, we were both very young in the TV news industry. Right. You were a producer.
Yes.
I think you worked all over the newsroom, right?
Sure did. A little bit of reporting, a little bit of producing, holding cameras, you name it. I just was willing to get busy.
I think you were on an assignment desk at one point, right?
I sure was. Literally, some weeks I didn't know where I would be, and they're like, "You're here," and I would just thrive wherever they put me. I was willing.
How did you get from that to where you are now? And I know I'm jumping the timeline a bit, but where did that hunger go? Because I remember we had a conversation. If we can be really real,
I was about to say, could we be really real?
I know you wanted to be on air full time, right? And I remember thinking, and I don't know if I told you this, but I remember saying, yes, on air, but think about it
in a big scope. You did tell me that.
Yeah.
You did. You said, see it from a bird's eye view. I remember.
Yeah. So how do you go from that, where that can be a very comfortable position, to being uncomfortable?
Nick, and this is what we were talking about offline, you all. How did we go from jumping around week to week, not knowing where you would sit in a newsroom, to now thriving, getting invited to things? And it was just, I decided I wasn't going to quit. I decided no matter what, I would create my own motion. I decided that I loved this thing so much, this all things television, telling stories, people, and living out loud, living vibrantly so much, I wasn't going to flaw on it. I knew I had something great and big and special. And even though there were seasons where I couldn't name it and it looked different in each season, I was willing to take it all the way to the top. And so how does one go from, being an intern at a newsroom to now you get invited to BET? Well, I decided I'm going to create along the way. So for me, creating along the way looked like my YouTube channel, which I'm still doing, by the way, been doing since 2014, 2015. And it's always keeping that one gem in your pocket that not only keeps you grounded, but it helps you to remember why you're doing what you're doing and why you're building. And so it's so funny because no matter what season I'm in, it takes me right back around to the first love, creating content, living vibrantly, YouTube. I mean, I'm just living, I just thank God so much, Nick, because it's just really a testament to him, hard work, keeping a pure heart, and just really loving what you do, What year did you step out on faith, or was it gradual, right? Was it okay, I still have my foot in the newsroom, but I'm doing this, and then at some point I'm just going to leap over and do this full time. When did that transition happen? I'm gonna be honest, the bell went off around 2018, when at the time I was speaking to my news director. Doesn't 2018 feel like a lifetime ago? It does. Even when I said that, I was like, carry the one. Because when I tell you, brother, I'm like, yeah, but it really was
8 years ago.
2018. Now, get this, Nick. You know why I bring this up, family, is because that was around the time social media was making a huge shift.
Yeah.
We saw more lives. We saw Facebook lives, Instagram lives. And I remember folks even saying, like, what is this whole lives feature? Even YouTube was stepping into doing more shorts. And it was kind of like a touch and go. And so I'm seeing all of this happen around me. And I'll go to my news director and I say, listen, the times are changing. I want to know, could we start hitting the streets with my cell phone and getting some positive stories? We already was doing the lifestyle content and thriving in the newsroom, but Nick, I just felt like though the news is something folks will always watch and it's a gem that will always be there, look at how the times are shifting right on our phones, the things in the palm of our hand. And I'll never forget, my boss was like, you know, that's admirable of you, Ohavia, but no, that's not where this is going. You're not going to be an Oprah Winfrey. I can tell you that right now. You do good at just telling the facts. Keep it simple and move on. And it was that day, Nick, where everything started clicking. And I said, wait a minute. Why am I asking permission on a vision God gave me? I know what I feel. I know what I see. I'm following that flow. I'm in the trend. I have to take a risk. So 2018 was when all that hard work, all the experiences I had, I said, you know what? I'm going to bet on me. And I was scared. And a lot of people don't know, I actually took like a proverbial L because I quit news and became a barista. And to anybody else, they were like, that's crazy. You were right there. Why would you do that? It was like to others going backwards, but it was worth it to me.
What did that feel like when he said, I'm good? Was that a gut punch?
It was. I'm not gonna lie, it hurt so bad. I'm gonna put it to you like this. Viola Davis is one of my favorite people. Y'all know when she does her crying scenes, it's all in there. Okay, you got the snot. Okay, you got I was crying like Viola in Fences.
Oh,
because it felt like here I was trying to collaborate.
Yeah.
I want to be very clear. I wasn't trying to be anything other than one who collaborated and brought a project up, an organization up. Anything I joined, anytime I'm a part of something, I want us all to go up. And it did feel like a gut punch, Nick. It was like, deflated to say the least. To say the least.
Who were your influences? Who did you look up to?
Yes. Okay, I have to say her name, Christina Watkins.
That's
my sis. We was just talking about how I love her so much.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to my girl who is killing it right now. And y'all gotta go, you gotta follow her to know what I mean by that. I'm not doing no spoilers, but when I tell you she is killing it in all things, Emmy Award winning, not one time, more than once. And so she was like a big sister to me. We worked in the same newsroom, and I really looked to her to really keep my head on straight, even when, I was trying to build this thing and didn't know. Brenda Blackman, who was a Jamaican American anchor growing up, when I lived in New York, I watched her all the time. I loved how she existed, how she thrived behind the desk. My mentor right now, Rashanda Pratt, who is so unapologetic about how she shows up in media. I mean, I don't want to leave any names out, but when I tell you, Nick, I am the sum of so many incredible men and women in media who took the risk, consistently show up, and never flawed on the dream or what they see for themselves. And so how can I, Even Nick. I'm gonna say your name, cause even Nick.
You know what I am embracing when people give me credit and when people show me love.
Yes.
Because again, we talked about it offline. I don't. I'm not afraid to share this. I was emotionally unavailable to relationships, friendships for a long time.
Yeah.
And so I made a turn in my life where I'm more vulnerable and more open.
Yes.
And so, but it's still, that's a piece that's still hard for me. When I hear love, I'm like, I don't deserve, but I do deserve it.
Look, love, Nick, okay? You gonna receive it off me.
Yeah, no.
But for real.
I'm getting to that space where like I'm receiving it.
Yes.
Yeah. It takes me time to process.
Yes, I'm proud of you because you deserve, you know, and I'm very big on that too, Nick. Let's not get our flowers when it's too late. So, I'm big on loving on the people who have a lot to do with the journey. A lot of times folks see the red carpets and all those things, but I think about my red carpets are the people who didn't flaw on me, the ones who said, Ohavia, keep going along the journey when it was messy in the middle. I hold on to conversations and quotes from you all. So receive, because I needed it and held on to it, and it kept me going. And I mean low of low, and words that you gave, kept me going.
Bear with me. I'm going to keep going back and forth on the timeline a bit. That's just how I roll. Where are you from? Tell the people where you're from.
Now.
This is for the people.
Let me fix my little jacket. From Brooklyn, New York.
I was about to say, where are the Tims at? Are the Tims somewhere around here? I don't see the Butters around here.
Where my Butters at?
Okay.
Oh, I left them at home. I'm sorry about that, Nick. I'll bring them with me next time.
How did you feel about the Knicks?
How did I feel about the Knicks?
As a Hornets in-game host?
Yeah.
Like,
and they know, they know this
right.
about.
I'm not trying to start any trouble.
No. Hornets is my family. That's my heartbeat for real. But they knew. That's what I loved is everybody was like, so how you feel about the Knicks? I'm like, why are we whispering? But man, I feel like there's a thread that's common in this, Nick, and it's whether it's the Knicks 53 years leading up to a win, whether, I'm even talking about my Hornets family and just calling this place home and loving it here. The thread is created motion, never gave up, never listened to the naysayers. And I love that for us. So, man, how do I feel to be a New Yorker for such a time as this? Incredible. Incredible. It just speaks to so much of what the city hoped for, prayed for. I feel like Spike Lee. I'm going to be honest. I feel like Spike Lee.
I mean, you will be that.
Yes.
You will be as successful as Spike Lee.
Yes.
I see it. I mean, you already are rich in spirit.
Yes, yes. It's all there.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did New York and your Caribbean background influence you and make you to who you are? Because I feel like our culture, our family structure, it really sort of like it forms this human being.
Sure do.
Hopefully it forms a good human being.
You understand?
but how did that influence you, and how do you carry that? How do you, because you're so prideful, how do you carry prideful in a good way?
Yes. No, I love this question so much, Nick. Culture, my heritage has everything to do with who I am, and it keeps me going. So aside from the fact that yes, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, I tell people all the time, but listen, my mom is Costa Rican. We're talking all things Guanacaste, Costa Rica, St. Catherine Parish, Jamaica, you done know. So for me, I wanted to live a life where I can take those stories with me, take that culture with me, take those flags with me, because here's the thing, y'all are meeting me, but I'm thinking about my grandfather who left the island and had to, go through it. And when I say go through it, I can't wait. It's his story to tell. We got to write his book for real, because my grandfather really sacrificed a lot to even get from the island, to get to New York, to create a life for him and his daughters, for my mom to even be born in New York. And so, I think about the red carpet of my grandfather. I think about the red carpet of my grandma who picked cotton. Okay? Listen to this now. My grandmother picked cotton and worked and was also sustaining. She was the youngest with her sisters. She was sustaining the family off her picking cotton wages. That's the red carpets I think about. Or even my mom, single mom, registered nurse, professional woman, sacrificed a lot. I'm the oldest of 5. We never went without. And, always had a sense of pride about, listen, we're not going to hide this part of our story. You share it and share the goodness of God. And so these are the red carpets I think about. And that is absolutely attached to heritage and culture, because how can we not, especially with the climate that we're in as a world and politics, we have to be willing to tell the stories. The erasure of just culture in general cannot happen, and that's why for as long as I live and breathe, I'm going to share those stories.
And we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't even take that lightly. That is a responsibility that we cannot run away from.
I'm telling you, Nick, because we're going so much farther than they ever could dream of. I even think about that. Like, sometimes I call, because they're still alive, which I thank God for. My grandfather's 92, my nana's 81.
Ooh, that's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Let's bring tears to my eyes.
Yeah, no, go ahead. It's a safe space.
When I call them and I'm telling them about things, you could just hear like the wonder. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'll never get used to that. Like Grandpa going, wait, what? What you mean? Who you was with? You went out there, didn't pay for it, right? And Grandma going, oh, hold on, shucks, what you talking about? So, it's just, I feel like I'm so wealthy because my grandparents are living to see what they prayed for that they never thought they would see, And I'm only one of the 5 siblings. If I really start bragging,
go ahead, brag.
I'm just going to tell you like this. The Cliff Notes version is all of my mom's name is Mahalia. All Mahalia's kids are doing that. And I just give
like
glory to
Mahalia
God.
Jackson?
Yes. That's what she was named after.
That's my grandmother's favorite. Rest in peace, my grandmother. But that was her favorite gospel artist.
Yes.
Mahalia Jackson. So I grew up listening to Mahalia Jackson.
That's crazy. And I love that for me. No, literally, when I tell you, brother, she was named after Mahalia Jackson. And so that's my mom through and through. Loves Jesus, loved keeping a pure heart, and really believed in always having a sense of pride. Any work that you did, you work unto God and you do it excellently. And so that's the story. That's my red carpets, man. That's why I feel so fulfilled and just living this beautiful life.
Can I say something? You gave me flowers. I want to give you your flowers. Yes. You and your husband Dennis had said something last year. I can't remember last year because I feel like so much has happened.
Yes.
But y'all came in for an interview and you talked about humility.
Yeah.
And I feel like I kept that theme last year kept popping up, and you talked about none of this is possible without God. Because I was bragging on y'all. I'm like, man, y'all got this, y'all doing that, y'all doing this, and y'all said, This ain't me. This ain't me.
Nick.
I'm not doing this. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm in the interview like, that, like I've known that, but I needed somebody to articulate that for me.
Yes.
Can you talk about that piece?
Absolutely, Nick. How does a girl with no backing, and when I say no backing, Nick, because we family, I could speak to you as such. You know, I don't have an agent, Nick. How am I moving the way I'm moving, Nick? I don't have any big agency. You know, there's a lot of my peers who are killing it and thriving, and I love them. And, you know, they have agencies and agents backing them. Nick, I don't have A, gent, or C. Okay? Okay? So I think about these things when God opens the door, when I get that email, when I get that call, when that inquiry comes in. How does that happen? Because the things that they say you need to be successful in this industry, I don't have it. I have God, and I have people like you in my life who go, hey, keep it going. My husband, who is, oh my goodness, such an inspiration to me.
Amazing dude.
Those words keep us going. So when we say to God be the glory, which I say often, when we say I thank God, the reason why we credit him is because it is because of him. And I never want to get too far away, especially in this industry of thinking like I got it like that. Because here's the truth. There are incredible, beautiful women who are well and can articulate, right? There are incredible, beautiful men and women in media who could do it just like me, if not even better. The reason why I give glory to God is because all things considered, he placed my feet where it was supposed to be, when it was supposed to be there. Whenever he opened the door, it was perfect timing for everything I prayed for even how I prepared. So not just prayers, right? Faith without works is dead. Also this idea of preparing, right? So God knows when to align your feet and open the door. So it's to God be the glory forever, man. I can't even sit here and act like, you know, I'm nice like that. I mean, but you know what I mean.
No.
You know, I can't even sit and act like I'm nice like that, or I could pick up the phone and call XYZ. It's really God, and I thank him every day for putting his hands on me and my husband, and, you know, for blessing us in such a way that inspires others, because we just want to live a life that opens doors for others, that blesses others, and where we can always consistently say his name. So to God be the glory on everything. Y'all know how I'm coming.
You know, my pastor just said it recently. Like he said, your steps are anointed, and God has to put that pressure on you, like an olive. That's how you get oil. And so he puts that pressure on you to let that anointing flow. It
has to be crushed.
Yeah.
You know. And I think that's another reason why I say to God be the glory, because I did not die under the crushing. Under the pressing.
We are here.
Hello? Man, I know some of y'all watching, like, I know y'all about to speak in y'all heavenly language, and you're allowed. Because let me tell you, when I tell you to not even be weighed down by the weight of what you prayed for, it has to be something bigger than you and I. And I know who I attribute it to, and I'm unapologetic about it.
And I think what we live in a social media time and era where people see, it's a highlight reel, right?
Yes, it is.
And people just want the highlight reel every day.
Yes.
But it comes with, you get down on yourself. It comes with maybe depression. It comes with loss. It comes with grief.
Of course.
And you just gotta keep going.
Nick,
and that's the hardest part, is keep going.
The hardest part is to keep going. You know, it's funny, we was talking offline, but I didn't get too thick into it. But I think about, you know, when I decided to quit television news and become a barista. You know, think about that, you all. You went from working in TV and telling folks you're in TV, and now you're making a macchiato. You know, you're making a matcha.
Yeah.
Your coworkers are coming into said coffee house to see you doing this, and it could look like a fall from grace. It can look like you're going backwards. There were emotions that I had to manage while also believing in this dream I did not see yet. How does that happen? That's why we say thank God for pulling us through, for carrying us, because we could have been crushed by that weight, you know, feeling like I'm a failure, feeling like, girl, you were right there. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? You know, but I believed in it, and he kept me. And now look, I'm talking to Nick.
You know what that is? That's called faith.
Faith.
Because you had to have that faith in order to say, hey, look, you talking about ego being crushed?
What ego
humbled?
Alone?
You're like, oh, Lord, you just want to shrink, but you can't shrink in those times.
The ego alone. I mean, I'll never forget one time a coworker came in and was like, yeah, let me get a cappuccino. Dude, my hands were shaking. I was like, I was so embarrassed. And I said, but you know what? I'm going to make the best darn cappuccino for this man. And the next time he see me, we're going to share a coffee in a studio or something, you know? And that's how much I believed in the dream. I wasn't willing to bow down to ego or pride at the sake of knowing what I felt, what I thought in this vision. And I'm glad I didn't succumb to that weight, you know? It wasn't easy, but we here.
I always say, and I used to ask this question a lot, what is the next 10 years? What is 5 years? That's unfair, right? Because things change.
Yeah.
What does next year look like?
Okay.
What is the rest of this year? What does next year look like? I think that's fair, right?
That's fair. I love that,
okay.
Nick. Now, you know what? Yeah, and yeah. People should steal the way you frame that, because it allows us to be present and grateful at the same time.
Right.
So thank you. That's fire. The next year, the next couple of months. Well, one, I've been blessed with my own Proclamation Day here in the city. I've been blessed with.
Okay, talk about it.
I can't even cry. I can't even cry because these lashes is bought. But, I've been blessed with my own media day in the city. It's dubbed Amazing Day in Media. It's the Sunday before all of the kids start school here at CMS. And talk about alignment and being anointed and appointed. I just asked the mayor, I said, I really want a day where we can love on folks in media, the ones who tell stories, the ones who are creating content, who are shifting the narrative in what we always thought news and news gathering and storytelling can be. And I was so blessed to be approved, got that stamp. It's in a frame in our home, and every day I look at it, I cry. So for me, that looks like moving on that, having an event where we can love on our storytellers, our journalists, the people I look up to, our Ken Kuntz, right? I think about our Sonia Gantz, right? I think about
legends.
Don't get me started. Our living OGs who inspire me, our No Limit Larrys, our Miss Jessica, the girl next doors, right? So that's what's in order for me. Also, I'm an author, so I'm going to be pushing this book because for me, it's not even about sales, Nick. I'm going to be honest with you. For me, my book, Wearing Expectations Like Designer, I want everybody to get a copy so they can know you don't have to live a life of trying to wear, the coat of somebody else, trying to fill the shoes of anybody else. God called you uniquely for such a time as this. And so I just want folks to get it, read it, get it in their souls, because the purer you are and as the more well you are is how all of your dreams can flourish and thrive, but you got to be willing to address the ugly stuff. And so I want them to do that. And I love being a wife. My husband is the GOAT. I love my husband. I'm sweating as I think about him. But when I tell you, I love my husband so much. And so I look forward to being a mommy soon. I look forward to, even as that left my mouth, I'm like, what? But really, I can't wait to be a mommy. I love being a wife and help my husband build. He has an incredible nonprofit, Inspire the Fire. I'm excited to take Charlotte by storm alongside my husband to really love on our next generation of creatives and doers. Because if we don't meet them where they are, give them the tools they need, do they know how loved they are, how vibrant they are, how successful they are? And so that's what it is for me, man. And loving on the people around us, right? Shout out to Anders, the ones God blessed us with. Anders. Love Anders down. But I just want to live a life of loving on our people and and loving this life, man. Because everything we prayed for,
it's happening.
It's
here. And it continues to happen.
Yes.
But it's not done. Like I said, you are at the beginning of your media journey. The beginning. We got to sit in that for a little bit. You are at the beginning of a growing media journey, and I am proud of you. You are doing the thing.
Love you, Nick. Thank you, man.
It's all love. Love you too.
I said the T word, but it's okay.
It's all good. This is digital. It's all good.
Okay.
We podcasting.
Sorry, y'all. Just hit me. It's like,
Yeah.
Because I think about Nick and I 2017, 2018,
Yes. Almost 15 years, yeah. Both Asian in reverse, by the way. I just
because let me tell you something.
I just want to put that out there.
Fit and feel to the brim.
You know what I'm saying?
Skin out.
Shoulders popping a little bit.
Yeah, we got a little trapezes.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, what they call these, Nick? Trapezes?
Something like that. Trapezoid. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's all there. They know what we be.
Yeah, a pull-up bar hates to see me coming. You feel me?
For real? Let me tell you, crunches hate to see me coming.
Hey.
Yeah.
Look. I'm about to run a third half marathon by the end of the year. So
Nick,
there you go. Yeah.
First of all, I haven't done one. I haven't done a mara or a thon. How you prepare for that?
You ain't got to do that to be great.
But I admire people who do.
I started from literally couch to 5K, barely running 5 minutes on the treadmill to
And you just trained yourself up to prepare.
I got to give a big shout out to Blackman Run. These guys are like 50s, 60s, 70s. There might be one in their 80s.
Whoa.
40s, my age, and we're running. Yeah,
That's inspiring.
3 to 4 times a week. I go to at least once a week.
Okay. They say running is great cardio and all the things.
Oh, yeah.
But I admire that so much. Like, shout out to the ones who do half marathon. First of all, any running period.
I got to shout out Mad Miles too. I don't go. I support, but
Shout out to Mad Miles.
I got people in Mad Miles. So
yes,
great people.
Shout out to Mad Miles. You know what? I'm gonna challenge you because I'm gonna challenge me. I haven't been yet either. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Now, hold on. I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna skip.
Okay, you don't have to run.
Skip.
You don't have to run. You can walk. You can walk.
That's what Cornell said. Cornell said you don't gotta run. I said, all right. Shout out to Cornell.
Shout out Cornell and Vanity. They've been on the show.
Yeah, so I'm gonna listen to the CEO.
Okay.
I'm gonna skip.
Yeah, go skip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Or
now,
just, you know.
I'm not scared no more. Let's go.
Just sit down.
Let's pick a Tuesday.
We'll figure it out.
And hold us accountable, y'all. I really mean we're gonna go.
There are going to be people that see this interview. Of course, I'm going to tag you. But what is the best way folks can get in contact with you?
Oh, yes.
Because you on all the major platforms.
Yes.
But what's the best way people genuinely can connect with you?
Absolutely, Nick. So literally, y'all, I'm good for it. If you follow me on anything at Ohavia Phillips-Reed, I DM folks back. I comment. I really love the community God has blessed me with. I love the platform that He bestowed upon me. Again, I didn't get into any of this looking for that. So I'm grateful for the amazing familia. That's what I call them. But if you would love to get in contact with me, hello at ohavia.com, OHAVIA. And if you want to tell me something cool, hello at ohavia.com. And yes, on all the social platforms, throw me a heart emoji. I'm going to throw you one back. And yeah, man, I'm loving this life, dude. I'm loving Charlotte, being able to call this place home. I'm loving this life that we prayed so hard for, and I'm not in survival mode. I've surrendered, and I'm just going with the flow, dude, and this life feels sweet. So yeah, y'all, just find me in person. It's even better in person.
Yeah, you can find it.
It's even better in person.
Ohavia, Maybach.
Maybach.
Thank you for stopping by.
Nick.
This is not going to be your last time here on the show. This is actually not really your first time, but your first time here on 704 Unfiltered. But it's not going to be your last time here on 704 Unfiltered.
There's more.
I appreciate you for coming. I appreciate you for just being you. For being a friend. Being a great person.
Same, Nick.
Inspiration, all the above. So I appreciate you.
Listen, look, you were the GOAT, Nick. You understand? And what I love is it's real. It's all there. Thank you for being a real one. Thank you for always telling our stories. Thank you for keeping a pure heart. I told him offline, y'all, but I'm going to tell y'all because we don't hide anything. Like, it's very rare when you find somebody like a Nick, never switch up, always believing, always putting folks in a seat in front of a camera that can share the real because you're the real. So I pray, we're reflections of you. And so love you, man. And only the beginning. And, when you get another Emmy, you got an Emmy, right?
It was a group project, but I'm somewhere.
When you get the other,
when I get the solo Emmy,
when you get the solo Emmy, and I call you to be on the talk show, you say yes.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's all there.
And when I go on vacation, you're going to be hosting.
Sure is.
So there you go.
Sure is.
And then I'm going to go behind the scenes because I don't feel like hosting no more. So you
see what we building? Exactly. Full stop.
This is how we do it. Thank you again for stopping by. 704 Unfiltered, Bankhead Bounce. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.